Hello, how are you? We're doing another cooking video, and this time we're gonna do a chicken stew. But when I was thinking of doing this, a chicken stew would be a really short video, so I'm gonna do a focaccia bread with it. I got a recipe right here for focaccia bread I got from Food Network. I'm just gonna put a link in the description of this for the recipe. But I'll go over the ingredients real fast too. But yeah, so I thought since I wanted to do a stew, I might as well make the video worth it and do a focaccia bread from scratch as well. So we're gonna get into that. And yeah, I think that's it for intro. We're gonna do that now. Okay, so let me see what the fuck I have to do. So warm water, yeast, sugar in a bowl, and then we have to let that sit for 15 minutes. So this video's already started and I'm waiting 15 minutes to do the next step. Alright, warm water. The warm water is a cup, 1 cup and 3/4 cup. But as I said, if you want this recipe, I'm putting the link in the description of it. Just click it. Okay, I'm using this for this yeast mixture because I don't have another mixing bowl, so it works. And 1 envelope of yeast. I got this active dry yeast pouch. Mostly, I have a pizza crust one, but I don't know if there's any difference in the two. So yeah, I just went ahead and bought just regular active dry yeast. And sugar. So that's a tablespoon of sugar. And we're gonna put in 1 pouch of yeast. Ugh. Go my little sea monkeys. Okay, so we're gonna whisk this up. It already smells bread-like. So this has to sit 15 minutes to, activate yeast and such. So we're gonna have to wait for that. I'll be back in 15, I guess. Also, before I go, these are I guess little dough hooks they gave me with the hand mixer I have. I lost the bowl for the attachment a long time ago. I don't know where that went. So we're gonna have to do it with the mixing bowl and hand thing when we get to that. But I do have little dough hooks, so that's good. So yeah, I'll be back when this is all bubbly and weird. Or whatever. 15 minutes. It's been 15 minutes. And it's pretty frothy on top. So I'm thinking this stuff's pretty good to go. So next thing. I weighed these out beforehand. Because yeah, I thought that would be extra footage that was unnecessary. Especially since my flour container takes forever to get 5 cups of flour out of. Alright, so what am I doing next? We are combining flour, as I just said, 5 cups. And I need to do a 1/2 cup of olive oil and the yeast. Oh no, the salt too. Flour and salt. Oh man, this is a lot of flour. I'm hoping that I don't spray this everywhere. In case I do, I'm gonna move my phone. Alright, 1/2 cup of flour. Not 1/2 cup of flour. 1/2 cup of olive oil. What is wrong with me? Now, focaccia bread is like a vegan bread too, because it's mostly made with oil. A lot of oil. There's a cup of oil in this, extra virgin olive oil. And the only reason I didn't weigh that out ahead of time is because it's a cup, but you have to do a 1/2 and then a 1/2. So I thought it'd just be easier to fucking do that on camera. So yeah, that's why we're doing that. But let's see, what else is there? And the yeast mixture, we're gonna do this on low. We'll put in the yeast. Mix. Ugh. Okay, let's check this guy out. I never followed these steps on baking stuff to the T. I always follow the ingredients to the T, but sometimes when you're in the moment of making this stuff, it's much easier to just go with the flow on some of it. Because they said to add more flour and then let it knead in here and stuff. I'm going to put more flour down on the cutting board, which was like their next step, and then knead it by hand, just because I find it's easier for me to gauge. Alright, so this dough is pretty good to go. What we have to do now is I gotta wash out my mixing bowl. But we're gonna cover this mixing bowl in a thin layer of olive oil, set this in there, and this has to rise for an hour. In the meantime of that hour of this rising, I'm going to do all of the stew prep. Get all the stuff cut up and all that. So, yeah, let's get this bowl cleaned out and then we'll do that. Alright, we're gonna thin layer olive oil on this. This is basically so it doesn't stick. And floppy. Then we wrap this guy up. If I can get this plastic wrap on here. So this guy right here that I'm about to show you is going to sit for an hour. So I'm going to show you before the hour, and then we're going to do all the stew stuff, all that. And then I'll show it to you after. And you can just see how amazing yeast is for bread stuff, I guess. So this is what it looks like right now. It's all plastic wrapped. You want to just keep it in like a warm spot. Not too hot, not too cold. And that way it can proof at a pretty reasonable time, distance, size thing. Okay, upon further inspection of said recipe, this is the first time we have to rise it for an hour. And then we have to do the thing where we put it in the pan, and then we have to let it rise for another hour. So, this hour we're just gonna wait out the first rising, and then I'll do the stew stuff on the second hour that I have to wait, because I didn't read ahead enough to know that that was a thing. So, because the stew ingredients are not gonna take me 2 hours to do. So, yeah, we'll be back when this rises. Then this dude right here in an hour's time. So it's been an hour, and this stuff's pretty poofy. Let's get a little shot of that. It's pretty poofy now. It's there. So next steps. We have a glass pan with some jelly paper roll thing. It's this stuff. It's like a non-stick bottom. We're gonna cover this apparently in half a cup of olive oil. This stuff is so oily. We gotta get this dough. Oh god, poof poof into here. And twice we put it around in the oil and spread it out. Then you're supposed to put holes in with your fingers to make it all craggy. I think it smelled that olive oil. My god. My god. And we're going to top this with sea salt. A coarse salt for the top of it. Alright. This now has to rise again for an hour. And this time, now in the meantime, we'll do the stew stuff. So let's get all that together. We'll clean this up and then we'll be back with lots of veggie chopping. So I lied. We're not doing veggie chopping right away. I'm going to cook off some bacon in the oven because I think I'm going to add the rest of this bacon to the stew. Mostly because I need to get rid of this bacon. So, and we are doing it the baking way this time instead of cooking it off in a pan like I did for the mystery video last week. Mostly just because this makes it more even and crispy and such. And while this is baking, I'll have time to do a bunch of veggie chopping and chicken chopping and all that. Now, this is a lot of bacon. So some of it's going to be on the rack. The rest of it I'm just going to spread out around it. It's bacon oven shot, yay! Alright, so we've got a good amount of veggies to cut and some herbs to cut for this, as well as I got chicken tender. Hold on. Kaboom! I got like a pack of chicken tenders to do for this. I don't know how much of this I'll actually use for the soup. I don't have like the biggest pot in the world, but I have a pretty decent sized pot for a stew. So we'll see. But let's get all of this cut up and set apart and stuff. This is the one thing when I was thinking of doing this. Now I'm starting to think of editing while I'm doing these. And I was thinking, I was like, this is gonna be a pain in the ass, isn't it? Editing wise. Because I have to chop all these veggies. And I keep doing those edits with them. So I hope people appreciate the editing in this one. As well as for celery and stuff, I'll probably just time lapse it. Because it's really fast chopping for that. And there's no point in putting every chop in. But yeah, for the ones that I do that on, just know that that's a pain in the ass and I do it for you. So we're not going to use this whole head of celery because this is a lot of celery. And the fact that you can't really buy, you can buy like the pre-done things of celery that are stocks and you can get less, but it costs more because it's already chopped when you can get a whole head of celery for like $1.50. So that's why I have a whole head of celery. Alright, let's get the celery chopping. I'm only going to do 3 heads of celery because that pot, again, is not very big. Alright, celery's done. Now we're going to chop up a bit of carrot. I'm going to start with 1 and go from there. The first thing we're going to do is split this guy down the middle. Also, I need to shave the carrot. The reason you want to shave carrots is the outside rind, unless you're doing like a stock, it doesn't really matter too much. But if you're putting this in a soup or something, the outside rind of a carrot can make it very bitter. And yeah, anytime you've eaten a carrot that has that bitter taste, it's because they didn't peel it. The peeling probably wasn't on camera, but that's because I was looking down at the trash can while doing it, so that's why. Alright, let's get chopping. Well, one more split and then some chopping. I'm probably gonna have to do this other carrot. Okay, carrot and celery. Next thing, we're gonna dice up our onion. Also, I gotta say, it smells wonderful in here right now because of the bacon in the oven. It's such a change from last week. There's no durian this time, and it smells like hickory smoked bacon in here, and it is amazing. I'm glad I did this. Let's get the other half of this dice. We're making like a good amount of stew. Onion. Alright, the last vegetable that needs to be chopped up is potato. Potato. Okay, so we're gonna chop these up and dice them pretty small. I got 2, like 1 big one and then this smaller guy. But I feel like I'm probably only gonna need the big one, but we'll chop the big guy, figure it out from there. Also, I'm gonna wash this real fast. Also, I wash out potatoes because you gotta remember they grow in the ground and that's where animals poop. So bacon's done. Alright, bacon's not done yet. It's just kind of like almost done. It's got 10 more minutes. Yeah, it's a pretty good amount of potato. I think that's it. Alright, with potatoes done, we're gonna take our attention, turn our attention, not take it, but turn it, to chives, thyme, and rosemary are gonna be our herbs for this. I'm gonna dice these guys up, put them together in a container. They won't enter the soup until like it's about 80% done. They're just kind of there at the end to give the broth more flavor. I could put it in with like the veggies and chicken as it cooks in the beginning, but I find that it's better to keep these a little bit more green for it, so that's what I do. But we're gonna have these pre-chopped and ready to go, so we'll do that now. Fresh thyme, which is always my least favorite to do because it takes forever to peel. So we'll be back when that's done. I'm not even going to show you guys this. You've seen me peel thyme before. There's our herbs on the counter too. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to dice up chicken. We've got all of our veggies done, I believe, and our herbs done. And there's the bacon. So I have a slight problem. This is why I wanted to put all the bacon on the racks. Because you see how even they are and how they're not burning or anything? And then you look at the ones that are on the aluminum here, and they're getting pretty black. So we're going to take these guys off and give these a little bit longer because they're not there yet. But yeah, that's why I wanted to put them all on the rack. I just didn't have the room. What's really nice about that, like, not being able to do that, is it was a slight mess up and it showed why you can use the racks and they were better for this. Let's put these back in. I'm gonna give these another 10 on the rack. Alright, in the meantime, we gonna cut up some chick. Let's cut up as much as I can fill into this here container. This here. Hear ye. Chicken is completely cut. That was the whole pack actually. And some of it had like cartilage in it, so it was a bit of a pain. I probably didn't even show most of the cutting in that, just like little bits of it. Because it's just really long. And even if I cut it and time lapse a bunch of it and tried to put all of it in, you would just be seeing like 5 minutes of chicken cutting. So we've got finished cut chicken. So far this is everything we need for a stew. Besides when the bacon's complete in 2 minutes, and we'll cut that up. I'm gonna clean my cutting board and go check on bacon, and we'll be back when we cut up the bacon for that. Our bacon is now to the point of maximum crispiness. Yeah, that's some sexy bacon. Now it's time to cut up some bacon. Chop, 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 chop. Yoink. Fuck yeah. Now, with all this being chopped up and ready to go for the stew, I think the focaccia is about time to put in the oven. So we're going to go jump over there real quick. I'll show you guys the focaccia where it is now, and then we'll cook it off. I think I need to set the oven. Yeah, I guess set the oven to 425 degrees, and then cook this for like 25 to 30 minutes for the bread. So let's go do that. Here comes our focaccia update. So here's the dough right now. It's very craggy and has some oil in it. And we're gonna stick this guy in the oven. Inwards. So I'm gonna set this guy to like 25 minutes to start, and we'll go from there. Okay, so there's three things really, I forgot that I have to set up before we jump over and start making the soup. One, I need to make the broth or a little container of broth, which I got. It's better than bouillon or whatever it is. I like it better. It's just, you can get the things of stock, but for how much you're getting, they're actually more expensive, because this could make like triple that or whatever. And yeah, this is what better than bouillon looks like. It's like chicken sludgy. It doesn't even move when you turn it. Ew. I'm gonna get a quart of water. Preferably hot water, And I'm gonna stick this in here. And it's magic! Chicken stock. I'm gonna put in 2 spoonfuls just so that I can make sure the flavor's there. And my spoon just disappeared into it. Alright, so that's the first thing I need to set up. And now the next, we are making our roux again for this. Let me see how much I need. Okay, so I don't need like a whole 8 tablespoons. We're gonna go with 6 tablespoons of butter to 6 tablespoons of flour. And if I need to, I can do a cornstarch slurry and maybe finally show you guys what that's all about. But it probably won't happen. So, where's my tablespoons? Okay, so 6 tablespoons of flour. To 6 butter. Now, I'm going to move over to the other side. I'm going to move all this stuff over. We'll get the pot all set up, and I'll see you guys over that way. So, let's go do that thing. Now, looking at the relative size of this pot, I probably won't use all of the veggies I cut, but we'll see. I'm going to start gauging it as I put the onions in. But let's get this guy going. And yeah, let's do this thing. So first things first, we're melting the butter in, which is going to take a minute because I just turned it on. Good me. Alright, so butter is melted down. Took longer than I thought it would. So we're going to add in onions. Actually, I think the veggies might be on par maybe. I'm going to cook the onions down a little bit until they just get a little translucent. And then we're going to add in the carrots, the potato, the celery, and the chicken. And let that all cook together. I'll salt and pepper that a little bit. But I'm just like explaining every step right now. You'll see it anyway, it's a video. Alright, it is time for us to add in carrots, and celery, and potatoes, and chicken. And give this all a good stirring after I get something to hold this with. Ah, veggies! Alright, I'm gonna salt this guy up. It's an initial salting. I'm gonna lid this guy off. Actually, wait. Okay, so we're gonna do some pepper as well. Now, a good chance this isn't all of the pepper and salt that I put in here, because you have to taste the stock and stuff after it's getting pretty close to done. But yeah, we're gonna do this, and now we're gonna lid it off for a little bit, and then we'll add in the flour and the stock, and we'll do the whole thing. Oh man, okay, time to add the flour. And get this mixed in. This is what I was talking about with like the roux thing. You could do it the first way I showed, which was like kind of separately, or you can mix it in like I did with the biscuit gravy, in with like whatever you're cooking. Just get it well mixed in there and like incorporated before you add the stock, and it works just about the same. Stock time. I'm probably gonna have to add a little bit more broth to this. Also, the really good thing is I still have some boxed chicken broth in here as well. But I mean, otherwise just go make more of the bouillon stuff. I'd have to say it was probably about like 1.5 quarts to 1 3/4 quarts of stock for this. Alright, now I'm gonna look for some seasonings. I have no idea what seasonings I'm gonna put in this. We'll just find out. I'm gonna add in a couple bay leaves to this. Again, why would you put slots on a bay leaves container? We'll just put in like a few of them. I'll put in one more little bit because those are half leaves. Once this gets to a point where I'm comfortable, we'll add in some powdered seasonings and stuff. Because thinking about it, I'm not putting it in right now because I can't really taste it with raw chicken in there. So we're gonna let that cook for a while, and then we'll add in the herbs, the bacon, and some powdered seasonings. I was also supposed to get heavy cream for this because when I do this in restaurants or whatever, I usually add a like dash of heavy cream because it just makes it delicious. But it's not gonna matter that much. I just forgot. Can't really do anything about it. So in the meantime, the focaccia is like a minute or two off, so we're gonna jump over to that side and I'm gonna pull that out and we can test out some of the focaccia. Pretty excited about that actually. So here's the focaccia all ready to go. I assume. It's pretty beautiful. I think I'm supposed to let it cool first, but I need to do something to test and make sure it's not dough in the middle. I don't think it is. Yeah, this is done. So we're gonna let this cool for a little bit, and I'm gonna cut up a piece and try it. And that'll probably be the next thing on this video, because that stew is going to probably take about 30 minutes to start boiling. So, yeah. We'll see you guys in a bit. Okay, so this has had some time to cool a bit. The stew has started to boil over there, but still has a little bit of time before we start adding the other stuff. I just add a little bit of more like salt and pepper to it, just because I pretty much can guess that it's not enough right now. So we're gonna take a little bit of this. Oh, ooh, it's hot. Still hot. Still hot. This is the bread that we got. It's nice and fluffy. Got a nice bit of oil on it. And yeah, it should be pretty good. I'm gonna try this real quick. Hot. Still hot. That with the soup, it's gonna be fucking amazing. I can't wait. Our stew is boiling its ass off now. Means I gotta get this shit stirring before it burns to the bottom of the pot. And that means all this stuff should be pretty well cooked inside. I need to get something to check that. So the best way I can always tell is like a carrot or a potato. Carrot's probably better than a potato to check out, but the carrots are now pretty soft. So, chicken's definitely done. Potatoes are definitely just about done, if not done already, because they were cut pretty small. And now we're gonna add in bacon. See that precise measurement of bacon? You don't need precise measurements for bacon, you just throw that shit in there. And herbs. Now this should be pretty safe for me to try the broth and see what seasonings we need to put in. So I am gonna do that right now. Broth. What do we need? What do we need? Absolutely nothing. Oh my god, that's fucking delicious. Alright, I'm gonna let that sit and kind of meld together with the herbs and bacon, just get the residual heat. Give it one more stir to make sure stuff's not sticking. Alright, so I'm gonna give this just maybe 5 more minutes to meld together, and then we'll put it in a bowl and we'll try it. But I'm fucking happy. You know what? So, I don't know why it took me that long to realize, but I should at least let you guys see the stew before we get to trying it. So here's the stew. Alright, so I'm going to cut off some focaccia breadsticks for the side of this. Give a little turn on there so you can see those. Those are beautiful. And gotta put in our chicken bacon stew. A little bit more broth. And I will see you guys over at the table. We can try this guy. We're not at the table. I forgot to show you guys the aerial view of the food, which is what I always do, and I should have thought of. So. So before I try this, one of the main reasons I wanted to do this is that this is a good recipe for people in the, since we're in fall right now and we'll be in winter in like what, 2 months, 3 months, something like that. This is really good for this time of year. It's not like the veggies I put in are fall oriented or anything, it's just when the weather starts getting colder, like a good chicken stew and some like bread is like the best comfort food. So yeah, now we're gonna try this. I'm so happy with this bread, you have no idea. I'm glad I found that recipe. So, do a little dunk with the bread first. Hot. That's really good. Now let's do by itself. Oh, that's really hot. Hell yes. I love this. This is so good. This is what I'm gonna be eating like all week, by the way. Because I have a lot of stew, and I have a lot of focaccia. And I am not gonna be disappointed in the fact that this is gonna be all week. It's so good, I don't care. Alright, well, I'm gonna go devour this. And get you all ready for editing. And hopefully this went up on Tuesday. If it didn't, it's because I just kind of ran out of time. And it'll be up Wednesday then. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, as always. And I haven't decided what next Tuesday will be. I never do, so, you know. We'll see. There might be one next Tuesday and there might not, depending on certain things. But I'm gonna say there's gonna be one next Tuesday. And yeah, we'll see what happens then. So, you guys have a good day. And yeah, thanks for watching. Alright. Let me set this somewhere. Alright, now I'm gonna cut up this bacon in about a minute. Because I have to go pee. I'll be right back. Hey! Damn it!